Hello guys, welcome back to Analytics with PM. So in this video, I have came up with another exciting project that is coffee sales. Okay, you can see the beautiful dashboard which I have created. So basically, our data reside in SQL Server. Okay, so we have imported our data into our lakehouse. Okay, in Microsoft Fabric, and with the help of a data flow Zen 2. So in data flow Zen 2, we have also created one of the calendar table. Okay, so the calendar table basically we have created by using a M code. So I have a M code. So I will provide in description. You have to modify only the start date and the end date. And in this video, step by step, I will tell you how we can find out the max date and the min date. After then, we have created a semantic model in Microsoft Fabric. Okay. So in semantic model, we are going to create the relationship between our fact table and the dimension. So the fact table is nothing but a coffee sales and our dimension table is the calendar table. So after creating a relationship, we have to create the measures. Okay. All the measures which we have to create in semantic model only. So the calculated columns are going to be calculated in data flow Zen 2. Okay. So after then, we have to refresh our semantic model. So that column will be replicating in the semantic model. After then, we have to import the semantic model in our Power BI report. Okay. So in Power BI report, we are going to create a fresh report out of it. Okay. And so basically in this project, I have done many of the customizations into our chart. You can see the heat map chart. Okay. Two types of heat map chart are present. Okay. So these are basically we have created with the help of a matrix visual. So we have done many of the customizations to look it like the heat map. Okay, so basically you will learn a lot of things from this project. This project can be beneficial for to the students who are preparing for to the Power BI, who want to learn the Power BI, and the beginner level also. Many of the advanced DAX I have used in this project. Okay, so you can learn from basic to advanced level. So stay connected to this video. So guys, let's back to screen. Okay, so first of all, let me go to our SQL server. Okay, so that I can show you where my data reside. Let me take a new query. Okay, so basically we are having a table as a coffee sales. Okay, so let me run the query to fetch the data, or let me select my database. So basically in this database we are having the table. Okay, this one. Okay, so basically this is our table. Okay, it is having near about 1,49,116 rows. Okay, so basically it is having the transaction ID, transaction date, transaction time. Also, it is having the transaction quantity, store ID, store location, product ID, unit price, and product category, whether it is coffee beans or flavors or bakery. Okay, product type is also there, whether it is premium beans or a regular syrup. So this kind of information this data is having. Okay, it is also having the product details. Okay, so basically it is giving some of the details of the each product. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one lake house and I'm going to import this table into our Fabric account. Okay, so let's move to our Fabric account. Okay, so first of all, let me create a new workspace. Every time I'm creating a new workspace. Okay, so let me name it as a coffee sales. Okay, our workspace has been created. Okay, now let me take the new item and search for. First, we have to take a data flow. Okay, let me take a data flows into. Okay, our data flow has been created. Okay, now let me name it as a coffee sales. Okay, let me close it and create a new lake house. So basically our lake house is also being created. Okay, now we have to move to our data flow Zen2 and we have to import the table from to our SQL server to this lake house. Okay, so let me take from SQL server. Okay, our server name is Priyam and our database name is projects. Okay, so now we have this table. Okay, okay, so basically in projects we are having only two tables, that is coffee sales and pizza sales. Okay, okay, so we have successfully loaded our data. Okay, so here I am not going to do any of the transformation because our data is already cleaned. Okay, so here what we need to do, we need to create one more table, that is calendar table. Okay, so for to the calendar table we are already having a Mcode. Okay, I will provide this Mcode in description. Okay, so for this only you have to modify that Mcode in which you have to change the start date and the end date. So start date you can find out from to the transaction date. The minimum of the transaction date will be the start date and the maximum of the transaction date will be the end date. Okay, so let me find out. Let me short it ascending so that we can get the minimum date 1/1/2023. Okay, let me short it descending 6/30 2023. Okay, okay, now let me create a blank query. Okay, so let me find out where is our M code. Okay, this one is our M code. Let me copy this. I will provide this in description. Okay, so you have to remove the M code. It is written M code, so you have to remove that also. Our query will begin from let. Okay, here we have to modify it 2023 1 okay, it will be 06 and it will be 30. Okay, so you can see our calendar table has already been created. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to select one by one and choose the destination to our lake house. for this also, let me name it as a calendar. Okay, let me change the destination to our lake house. Save setting. Okay, now let me publish this data flow. Let's wait for it until it publishes. Okay, so guys, you can see our data flow has been successfully created. Okay, so let me go back to our lakehouse and check whether all the tables are here or not. Let me refresh it. Okay, so we do have all those tables. Okay, so now the next step is what we have to create a semantic model out of it. Okay, so let me create a new semantic model. So you can open this and here you can click new semantic model. Okay, let me name it as a coffee sales. We have to select all these two tables. Okay, let me confirm it. So basically, if we have to create a calculated column, then we have to go to our data flow Zen2, and if we have to create measures, we have to create in semantic model. Okay, so you can see our semantic model has been successfully created. Okay, so with the date, we have to create a relationship. Okay, we have to go to editing mode. Okay, okay, our modeling has been created. Now one thing more we have to do. Okay, so here basically it is having month name. We have to sort it by month number. Okay, we have to go to advanced month name, sort it by column month. Month short also we have to choose it by month. Okay, okay, these two are done. Now basically what we have to do, we have to open our Power BI report. Okay, so we are going to create a fresh report from this semantic model. Okay, so the requirements are already with us. Okay, so first of all let me show you the requirement. Okay, so basically these are all the requirements, KPI requirements. Okay, so total sales analysis, calculate the total sales for each respective month. Okay, determine the month on month increase or decrease in sales. Okay, calculate the difference in sales between the selected month and the previous month. Okay, so basically here we are going to create many measures. Okay, so here also you will learn many of the advanced DAX which we are going to use in our project. So the second step is total order analysis. Calculate the total number of orders for each respective month. Okay, determine month on month increase or decrease on number of. Okay, so basically this one for to the total sales and this one for total orders. Okay, and this one is for a total quantity. Okay, now let me go to our charts. So calendar heat map. Okay, implement a calendar heat map that dynamically adjusts based on the selected month from a slicer. Okay, each day will be colored coded to represent sales volume. Darker shades is equal to higher sales. Implement tooltips to display detailed metric sales. Okay, so basically, we do have to create an uh, we do have to create one heat map. Okay, so basically in calendar heat map, we don't display the values, only the bars display for various months. The bar will display based on the color coding. Okay, if it is in darker shade, so it means that higher sales. If it is lower with low shade, okay, so it means that the sales are low, like this. Okay, so sales analysis by weekdays and weekends. Okay, segment sales data into weekdays and weekends to analyze performance variation. Okay, so basically we have to compare the weekdays and the weekends. Okay, so we have to basically analyze the performance variation. Okay, provide insight whether sales partner different significantly between weekdays and weekends. Okay, sales analysis by store location. Okay, visualize sales data by different store location. We have to create one chart in which we have to visualize it by various store location. Include month over month difference metrics. Okay, we have to create one more chart in which we have to show month over month trend for to the metrics. Okay, highlight month over month sales increase or decrease for each store location to identify trends. Okay, so our last requirements are daily sales analysis in average line. Okay, sales analysis by product category, top 10 products by sales analysis by day and hours. Okay, so basically here we have to create many of the calculated columns and many of the measures. Okay, so let's move to our Power BI report. So let me open a brand new Power BI report. So basically we have opened our report. Okay, so now we have to import the data from to our semantic model. So here we do have an option Power BI semantic models. Let us click on this. Okay, already we are having this semantic model. Okay, let me import this one. Okay, we have successfully imported these two tables. Okay, semantic model we have already, so we have imported this semantic model. Okay, so now, okay, so now first of all we have to choose one background image into this canvas. Okay, so let me click onto the format. Okay, let me click onto the canvas background first, and we do have one of the image. I have saved it, so I will provide this image into our description. Okay, so let me go where it is. Okay, this one. So I have imported this image. Okay, so you can see it is not replicating here. So this is because our transparency is 100%. Okay, so we have to remove it. Okay, we have to reduce it. Okay, so let me take it as a, okay, 0. Now you can see it is now replicating. Okay, and here we have to choose to fit. Okay, now in canvas setting we have to choose one custom page size. Okay, so our height will be 850 and width will be 1400. Okay, and alignment will be in the middle. Okay, Okay, so our page settings are done. Okay, now we have to import some of the shapes. Okay, we have to create the placeholders for to the our charts. Okay, so for that we are going to create 2 3 shapes. Okay, so insert and shape. We first of all take the this shape as a rectangle. Okay, now here we have to choose the height and width. Height will be 200 and width will be, okay. Now here we are going to choose the color. So our color will be, okay, let me choose it. So here I am going to put the hex code. Okay, so it will be 36003E. Okay, so this one is will be our image. Okay, okay. Here also we have to turn off the background, not the background but the border. Okay, now we have to import one more shape. This time we are going to choose rounded rectangle. Okay, so let me format it. Its side will be 785 and its width will be 325. Okay, 785. Okay, so here basically the rounded corners we have to reduce. Okay, so we are going to take the rounded corners as 7%. Okay, and now we have to turn off the border, and here we are going to choose different color. So the color code I am going to give as 402 B1E. Okay, so this color code we are going to choose as a coffee color. Now one more placeholder we have to create. Okay, so that will be a shape. So let me copy this one. Okay, let me give the height and width. Its height will be 165 and width will be 1020. Okay, so our placeholders are created. Okay, now we have to create one of the text box. Okay, so let me quickly put the title of this report. So here the title will be coffee shop sale. Okay, let me select all, and here we are going to choose as COZ bold. This we are going to take it as 24. Okay, and color will be white. Here we have to remove the background. Now let me adjust it, and so here in the corner we are going to put it. Okay. Okay, so now let me quickly go to our BRD. Okay, so the first statement, what it is saying that we have to find out the total sales. Okay, so let me quickly go to our Fabric account and let me open our data flows and tool. Okay, so now here you can see we have a transaction ID, transaction quantity, okay, and the unit price, but we don't have the sales. Okay, we don't have the sales column, so we have to create a sales column, and the sales will be the multiplication of the unit price and the quantity. Okay, so let me quickly go and create a custom column. Let me name it as a sales. So here we need row by row operation, so that is why we are using a calculated column. Okay, unit price into transaction quantity. Let me click on OK. Okay, so as you can see, our column has been created. Okay, so basically unit price into quantity, we have created this column. Okay, now the column is created, we have to add this column uh, into our semantic model. Okay, so first of all, in the mapping we have to choose this. Every time you are going to create a new column, you have to go to the destination and you have to set the mapping for that column. Okay, here it is replicating. Okay, you have to save the setting, and now we are going to publish it. Let's wait until it publishes. Okay, okay, now you can see our data flow has been published successfully. Okay, so let me quickly go back to our lake house and check whether that column is replicating here or not. Okay, it is replicating here. Now we have to refresh our semantic model. Okay, let me go here and open our semantic model. Here every time you have to click on editing. By default it will be selected as viewing. Okay, so let me edit table, and okay, now you can see sales is replicating here. Okay, Now let me quickly go back to our Power BI report and refresh from here. Okay, sales is now replicating here. Okay, so let me go back to our, okay, we want to show, calculate the total sales for each respective month. Okay, so we can show the total sales for total sales. Okay, we have created this calculated column. Okay, so we have to create a measure for total sales. We have to go back to our semantic model, and here we have to create the measure. Okay, so basically here we are going to aggregate our total sales, so that is why we are going to use a measure. Okay, let me name it as a total sales equal to sum of sales. Okay, now let me take this new card visual. Okay, here we are going to put the total sales. Okay, now you can see it is replicating. Okay, so but we want the total sales for respective months. We have to show the total sales with respect to month, so we need a slicer. Okay, let me take a slicer, and in this slicer we are going to put the month name. Okay, so let me go to format and format it a little bit. We want in drop down. Okay, now let me put it here. Okay, here you can see it is showing blanks. So first of all we have to remove the blanks from to the filter. Select all, remove the blank and lock it. Okay, so you can see when I am selecting the February, March, April, so with respect to different months we are getting the total sales. Okay, now let me select this one and name it as a month. Okay, and here we want a single select. Okay, let me put it here. And now let me format it a little bit. Okay, so let me go to format, and here we are going to choose the height and width. So our height will be 165 and width will be 300. Okay, background we don't want. Call out values. Okay, so here we are going to select CGUI bold. Okay, this one, and here we are going to take as 25 font size. Okay, label will be semi bold. Okay, And the spaces we are going to select as 0. We are going to take it as the top. Okay, in the cards background, let me turn off. Okay, border also we don't want. So here let me choose some light color. Okay, and for to the values also let me choose the white color. Okay, accent bar we need, and for to this bar, oh, we are going to use the different color. Okay, now let me write down the color code A triple six 3F. Okay, and width we are going to take it as 4. Okay, now let me put it here. Okay, in the similar way we have to format this one also. Background let me turn off. It will be in white color. Okay, this will be semi bold. Also let me take it as a white. Okay, showing up. Okay, so for to the background we are going to select any of this color. Okay, now you can see it is replicating. Okay, 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 now we have to show the trend line. Okay, so let me first click on this line chart. Okay, okay, on to x-axis we have to put the date. On to y-axis we have to put the total sales. Okay, so you can see it has created a line trend. Okay, so here we have to modify. Okay, so here height we want as 85. Okay, and okay, we don't want the background. Title we don't want. Okay, for x-axis everything is off. For y-axis also we have to turn off the values as well as the title. Okay, okay, onto the lines we are going to select different line color. Okay, so we are going to select this color, not this color. Okay, okay, now let me place it here. Okay, so this is the card visual, and inside this card visual I have aligned this one. Okay, now what we have to find, we have to determine month on month increase or decrease in sales. Okay, for this we have to write down the measures. Okay, let me go to our semantic model and create the measures. So first of all we are going to create the current month sales. Okay, after then we are going to create previous month sale. Okay, basically we have to determine month on month increase or decrease in sales. Okay, we have to compare it with the previous month. Okay, and we have to show whether it has got increased or whether it has got decreased with respect to previous month. As you can see, difference in sales between the selected month and the previous month. Okay, so let us go and create this. Okay, let me right click here and new measure. Okay, so we are going to create sales for current month. Sales underscore cm is current month. Okay, is equal to, we are going to use the variable. Okay, so first of all let me write down the DAX, then I will tell you, explain you how this DAX works. Okay, selected value. Okay, so selected month is equal to selected value not this one. You have to select the month, this one. Okay, now in return we have to use total mtd function. Okay, after then we are going to use calculate total sales. Okay, after then date month will be the selected month. Okay, this variable we have to recall, and sales. Okay, for to the current month, how we can find out? So whether if we are selecting any month, just like we have selected the January, okay, so it is showing the total sales for to the January. Okay, so how we are going to determine whether which month is selected? Okay, so we have a DAX function called as selected value. So it will uh, calculate based on the month selected onto the slicer. Okay, so we have selected, we have called our calendar month, okay, month name from to our slicer. Okay, so we are going to use total mtd function. Okay, we have to calculate the total month sales. Okay, so that is why we are going to use total mtd, and in total mtd we are going to use calculate function total sales. Okay, we need the filter expression, so that is why we have used calculate, and in the filter expression we are going to use this calendar month. Okay, so calendar month is equal to the selected month. Okay, we have to find out the current month sales for to the selected month. So we are recalling our variable, this variable. After then we are using a calendar date. Okay, so this is how it works. Let me click on okay. Okay, now let me recall it here. Let me put one card visual. Okay, in which we are going to put current month sales. Okay, it is showing the current month. Now in the similar way we have to find out the previous month sale. Okay, so now let me right click here and the new measure, sales previous month is equal to, in calculate we are going to call this current month sale. Okay, this sales, and we have to find out the previous month, so we are going to use date add function. Okay, so what date add is doing, it will calculate based on the number of interval, whether we have to calculate for to the previous month or we have to calculate for to the next month. So we are going to use date add. Okay, so here we are going to select the date. Okay, and here we are going to use -1 because we need previous month. Okay, here we are going to select as month. Okay, let me recall it. Okay, so here January is selected and we don't have the previous December month, so it is showing as blank. So once we are selecting February, so it is showing the correct. Okay, this one is the previous month, which is for to the January, and this is for to the current month. Okay, so you can see when I am selecting January, it is showing 81.68. So yeah, this one is correct. Okay. Okay, so now we want month over month and growth and different sales. So we need to create one more measure. Okay, so that we can show the current month versus the previous month. Okay, so we have to show here only. So what we are going to do, we are going to create one more measure in which we are going to write the concatenate. Okay, so let me name it as a month over month and growth and different sale difference. is equal to, here we are going to use some of the variables. Okay, so first of all let me write down the DAX. After then I'm going to explain you each and everything about this DAX. So first we have to use variable, and here we are going to month difference, we are going to find out is equal to sales current month minus sales previous month. Okay, after then again variable we are going to use, and here we are going to find out month over month is equal to, here month difference divided by previous month sale. Now again we are going to use variable, and this variable will be if it is in positive, the growth is positive, so we have to show the plus sign or we have to show the minus sign. Okay, so for this we are going to write the sign. Okay, and we are going to use if condition. If month difference is greater than 0, then we should get plus sign. Okay, so basically if the difference is in negative, so it will automatically put the negative sign. Okay, so we don't have to put here the negative sign, we have to simply call it as a blank. Okay, and we have to give the trend also. So again we are going to use variable and trend. Okay, let me give as sign trend. Okay, so we have to give the sign trend. Okay, so if the difference, month difference is greater than 0, then we have to show it as up. Okay, this arrow you will get once you are going to press Windows plus dot. Okay, so here in the symbols, let me show you, in the symbols you will get these, but these icons. Okay, you can use these icons. Okay, and if it is in negative, then it should show down arrow. Okay, now we need the consolidated list. Okay, so we need to create the return. In return we need sign trend. Okay, and one space we need. After then again, and so we have to if we have to concatenate 2 3 things, we have to use and sign. Okay, it will join, and we need sign plus or minus. Okay, not this sign. Okay, I have renamed it, it was not popping. And we need, okay, let me put and. After then we need format. function. Okay, in the format we need MOM, month over month difference. Okay, and it should be in the format of 0.0%. Okay, let me close this one. Okay, now we are going to close it, and we need one this pipe sign. Okay, and sign one, and again format. Okay, month difference divided by 1000. Has 0.0 k. Let me close this. Okay, and we need the space and vs lm. Lm is last. Okay, now let me take this. Okay, so basically what here in this measure, what we are going to do, we are going to calculate the month difference. Okay, so it is basically current month sales or the previous month sale. Okay, after then we are going to find out the month over month. Okay, so it is basically month difference divided by the previous month. Okay, now we have to find out the sign whether it is going up or down. Okay, so for if the uh, month difference is greater than 0, then it is basically increasing, the sales is increasing, so we have used the plus sign. And if it is decreasing, then it will automatically detect the negative sign, we don't have to use here. Okay, after then the sign trend we need. So if the trend is greater than 0, so if it is increasing, then we are going to use this up sign. If it is down, then we are going to use this sign. Okay, now we are combining all these things. Okay, so once this is you can copy this. Okay, so this is how I want my DAX to be written. Okay, so this is how my value, I want my value to be shown, so you can also copy this. Okay, so let me show you how it is going here, how it is showing here. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, you can see how it is looking. Okay, now here, okay, we need some space here. Let me format here. Okay, now it is looking fine. Okay, now we are going to use this as a title in this line chart. Okay, we have to show here upside. So let me click on this. Okay, let me go to format and let me turn on the title, and here the title we have to select fx based on the field value and based on the measure. This measure. Okay, now you can see it is replicating here. Okay, now we need to choose some different color. Let me choose this color, or some light color. Let me choose. Okay, now you can see it is looking perfect. We have to align it properly. Okay, now you can see it is looking fine. Okay, here let me choose some different color as a title. Okay, so let me use the color A0D1FF. Okay, now this color is looking fine. Okay, this color is now looking fine. Okay. Okay, so now let me quickly delete these one. Okay, and now let me go back to our requirement. Okay, so total sales are done. Now we have to go for total orders analysis. Okay, the same we have to create, just like we have created a total sales, we have to create the total orders. Okay, so let me go back to our Power BI. So here we are having the two items placed onto one card. Okay, so let me choose this one and also the other one, and let me group it. Okay, so now let me copy this group and paste here. Okay, so here we have to create the total orders measure and the measures which we have created, just like sales current month, sales previous month. So these we have to recreate, total orders current month, total orders previous month. Okay, the logic we have to keep the same, and we have to change only the total orders. Okay, so first of all let me go back to our semantic model and create the total orders. Okay, let me name it as a total order. And total orders are basically, we can say we are having a unique transaction IDs. Okay, so we can take the distinct count of transaction IDs. Okay, So we got our total orders. Okay, now let me create the total orders for current month. Let me copy this. Okay. Let me paste it here. Let me name it total orders current month. Okay, so here we are having the total sales. We have to replace it with our total orders. Okay, now similarly we have to create the total sales for total orders for previous month. Okay, let me copy this one too, and let me create a new measure. Let me rename it to total orders. Okay, now we are left with month over month and growth and different sales, this measure. So let me copy this one also, and let me recreate it. Orders. Okay, so here we have to replace total orders. Okay, and everything is fine. So now let me click it. Okay, so now let me go and refresh it, and we have to choose here the values. Okay, for to the line chart, in place of total sales we have to put the total orders. And here also we have to put the total orders. Okay, so as you can see we have successfully imported this. Now let me quickly format it. Okay, so the title we want as total orders. Yeah, difference orders, this one. Okay, and also the lines, we have to change the color of the line. So let me choose another color, which is this one. Okay, also you can see it is showing as 34K. Okay, now we have to show the total orders. So now let me go to format. Okay, now it is showing perfect. Okay, okay, so now let me go back to our requirement. So the next one is total quantity sold. Okay, so for this we have to create one more measure. Just like we have created the total orders, we have to create the total quantity sold. Okay, Let me create a new measure. Total quantity sold is equal to, it is nothing but sum of okay, this one transaction quantity. Okay, so now in the similar way we have to create this total orders current month, total orders previous month. We have to create total quantity current month, total quantity previous month, and also this MOM growth and difference quantity sold. Okay, so these measures we have to recreate. Let me copy this one. Let me create a new measure. Quantity, here we have to replace total quantity. For to the previous month also, let me take, copy it and create a new measure. And replace the total orders to total quantity. Okay, this one is done. Now let me copy this one to, okay, only we have to replace these values. Okay, these fields we have to replace and we have to tick. Okay, okay, now let me refresh here. Okay, let me copy this one. Go C, Control V. Okay, and here we have to change the values. Okay, in the similar way we have to remove, we have to keep the decimal none. Where is the callout values, total quantity sold, and here we have to choose as none. Okay, also we have to change from to the line. Here we have to place total quantity sold. Now in the formatting we have to change the color. We are going to change the color to this, and the title we are going to change. Okay, this one we have to select. Okay, and now you can see it is looking fine. Okay. Okay, so now let me move to next. Okay, so before moving to next, you can see the title. Okay, so the title, it is having underscore total order underscore, so we have to format it properly. Okay, let me select this and remove it from here. Okay, like this. Okay, so this one is done. Now let me move to next one. Let me go to BRD. Okay, so first of all, we have to create a calendar heat map. So implement a calendar heat map that dynamically adjusts based on the selected month from a slicer. Okay, so each day will be color coded to represent sales volume. Darker shades is equal to higher sales. Implement tooltips to display detailed metrics, sales order quantity when hovering over a specific day. Okay, so first of all, we have to create a calendar heat map. Okay, so we have to create a calendar heat map in which we have to do many of the formatting. So this calendar heat map, you will learn a lot of things from this calendar heat map, how we are going to tweak the things. Okay, so you will learn how we are going to do this. Okay, so let me go back to our Power BI report and let me create a matrix visual first of all. Okay, okay, so basically in the matrix visual, in the rows we have to put the week of the year. Okay, and in columns we have to put the day name, and into the values we have to put the day. Okay, we have to take the sum. Okay, now you can see it is looking fine. So here we have to do many of the formatting, so stay connected to this video. Okay, so let me go to format. First of all, let me adjust the height and width. So the height will be 190 and width will be 305. Okay, okay, so okay, now here we want some grid also. Let me go to here and turn on the grid, and width we need 2. Okay, the color we have to take the same which we have taken this coffee color. Okay, so the color code for this is 402B1E. Okay, the same we have to keep everywhere. Let me copy this one. We need the vertical grid also, so we are turning on. The color code will be the same. Okay, and width will be 2. Okay, now in border also we have to select the same color. Okay, let me see the row paddings. Okay, here we are having the row padding. Okay, let me give it as 3. Now let me go to values. Okay, so in values we have to put we have to take 9, and the text color will be white. Okay, and background color will be the same coffee color, and the alternate color will be white, alternate background color will be the same coffee color. Okay, Now let me go to column headers. In column headers we have to take 9, and here we have to change the text color to white, and the background color to same coffee color. Okay, now let me go to row headers. Okay, let me take this as white. No, we are going to take this as a coffee color. Okay, and background color. Okay, here background color also we have to take the same coffee color. Okay. Okay, now column subtotals we have to turn off, row subtotals we have to turn off. Okay, and we have to turn off the background. Okay, now let me go to cell elements. Here we have to select, this one is already selected. We have to take the background color on, and okay, so here we have to choose some of the colors. Okay, so it will be the rules. Okay, for total sales. Okay, it will be gradient for total sales. Okay, and the lowest value we are going to take it as, let me give the color code, 7361C. Okay, and the highest we are going to take F0A787. Okay, also here we have to change to don't format. Okay, now let me click OK. So now you can see it is looking fine. Okay, okay, so as you can see here we are getting week of the year. Okay, so we have to remove this space. Okay, also we have to remove this week of the year. So what we can do here, double click on this and delete this and give one space. Okay, okay, so space was not proper. Okay, you have to give only one space. Okay, now you can see it is looking fine. Okay, now we can move it to here, and let me move it to upside. Okay, also here at the top we have to display the January month. Okay, so now let me go. Okay, let me create one of the card visual. in which we are going to put the month name. Okay, month short we are going to put. Now let me format it a little bit. Okay, background let me turn off. Okay, so this one will be white color. Call out value, let me take it as a white color. Okay, and here let me reduce it to 25. Category level we don't want. Okay, okay, let me change. Okay, let me move it to little bit up. Okay, and here let me reduce some more size. Let me take it as 15. Okay, now it is fine. Now you have learned how we have created this kind of chart. Okay, so let's move to next. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to show the tool tips also. Okay, as mentioned in our calendar heat map, that implement the tooltip to display the detailed metric, sales order and quantity when hovering over a specific day. Okay, whenever we are hovering over a specific day, it should show the tooltip with the related information. Okay, so for that we have to create one more page. Okay, let me name it as a tooltip underscore and for calendar chart. Okay, so now here in the format we have to do some of the adjustment. Okay, so first we have to go to canvas setting, and here we have to choose as a tooltip. Okay, after then here only here we have to create our visuals. Okay, now in background color, so we have to choose the black color. Okay, so let me reduce the transparency. Okay, now it is done. Okay, now let me take a new card visual. Have to align it half. Okay, so here we have to put total sales, total orders, and total quantity. Okay, okay, now let me go to format and format it a little bit. So okay, let me go to layout, and here we have to select the vertical. Okay, okay, now let me go to call out values. We have to select here all. Okay, and here we have to select OGUI bold. Okay, and here we are going to take it as 18. Okay, color will be white. Okay, now let me go to labels and turn off. Okay, we have to turn on the labels, and Here we have to reduce the size to 8. Okay, let me take it as a semi bold, and the color we are going to take it as a light gray. Okay, now let me go to cards, and let me turn off the background. Okay, let me take the background color as black. Okay, now we have to turn off the background border, we have to turn off. Okay, you can type here background. Okay, we have to turn off this. Okay, now you can see it is looking perfect. So here also we have to change the names. Okay, total sales, total order, total quantity. So we can change here total orders. Here we have to take the total quantity. Let me remove the sold. Okay, okay, now it is looking fine. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to create one donut chart here. Okay, in which we have to show the sales orders and the quantity. So let me put the donut chart, and here let me put total sales, total orders, and total quantity. Okay, okay, now let me format it a little bit. Okay, so first of all we have to turn off the background. Okay, and title we don't want, and in legends, okay, legends title we can change from here. Text, let me take it as 8, and color will be white. Okay, spacing let me take it as 70. Okay, legends we have to turn off, not this one. The detailed labels, okay, this one we have to turn off. Okay, let me reduce some more size. Okay, so it is not taking. Title let me turn off. Okay, here we can rename it. Okay, now let me rename it. So here we are going to name it as sales orders, and here we are going to type as quantity QTY. Okay, like this we can show. Okay, and now it is looking perfect. So okay, one more thing we want. Okay, so at the top we need the specific day, on which day, the particular day it is showing the details. Okay, for this we have to take one card visual. Okay, let me take one card visual. put it here. Okay, so here we are going to put the date. Okay, now let me format it. Okay, first of all we have to turn off the background. Okay, in callout value we have to take it as 14. Okay, and color we are going to take it as light blue. Category label we are going to turn off. Okay, now you can see it is also showing the time. Okay, so we don't want the time, so here in the data format we are going to format it to show only the date. Okay, like this. Okay, so let me format it. Okay, this one is also looking fine. Okay, so we are going to use this one. Okay, now we want one more information. Okay, so let me copy this and let me put it at the down. Okay, so here what information we are going to show? We are going to show the MOM growth and sales. Okay, so this measures we have already created. We are going to put the sales one. Okay, this one. Okay, so here you can see it is showing as blank. Okay, so whenever you will hover over the chart, so it will display the related information. It will show correctly. Okay, so now let me change the color of this. Let me go to format and call out value. Let me take the yellow color. Okay, now this one is looking fine. Now we have to map it to our this chart. Okay, now let me select this chart and go to format. Okay, here you can type the tooltip. Okay, here you have to turn on. Okay, and in options you have to select this page. Okay, now whenever you are going to hover, it will show the related information. Okay, you can see it is showing as 31st of January. Okay, now let me choose some different month. Now you can see it is showing. Okay, okay, you can see it is looking fine. Okay, so this one is done. Okay, now let's move to our next chart. Okay, so the next chart is sales analysis by weekdays and weekends. Segment sales data into weekdays and weekends to analyze performance variation. Provide insight into whether sales pattern differ significantly between weekdays and weekends. Okay, so here also we have to create another chart. Okay, so let's move to our Power BI report. So basically, first of all, we have to find out the weekend and the weekday. Okay, so how we can find out that, as we have to analyze the sales by weekdays and weekends. Okay, so first of all, let me go to our data flows into. Here we have to create one more column which will show whether it is a weekday or a weekend. Okay, we are going to create in calendar table. Okay, so here there is option to add the column. Okay, now here we can create one conditional column. So we are going to name it as weekend underscore weekday. Okay, so if day name equal to Saturday, then weekend. As if day name equal to Sunday. Okay, it is first three letters. Then also weekend, else it should be weekday. Okay, we are going to create this column. Okay, for Sunday it is showing as weekend. For Monday, Tuesday, and Friday up to Friday it is showing as weekday. Okay, now we have to change the data type to text. Okay, now let me go to our lake house and import the schema. Okay, now we can publish it. Let's wait until it publishes. Okay, now okay, now our data flow has been successfully published. Okay, so let me quickly go to our semantic model and refresh it. Okay, we got here. Okay, now let me go to our Power BI report and refresh here. Okay, we got our column here. Okay, so now we have to create one donut chart. Okay, and in donut chart we are going to put total sales by weekend or weekday. Okay, now you can see what chart has been created. Okay, now we have to do some of the formatting. Okay, so first of all, let me choose the height and width. So the height will be 195 and the width will be 308. Okay, now background we have to turn off. Okay, in title we can say sales by weekend or weekday. Here we can put as or. Okay, Here we have to choose as COGUI. Text color we have to take it as white. Okay, it will be in center. Okay, legends, let me turn off. And in slices, in the spacing we have to give 80%. Okay, and we have to choose the different colors. Okay, for weekday we have to choose different color. We are going to use the hex code. So for to the weekend we are going to use 95441F. Okay, okay, for weekday we are going to choose different color, not this one. BA62329. Okay, this color we are going to choose. And for to the weekend we are going to choose different color. It will be 95441F. Okay, okay, now let me go to values. Okay, in detail labels we have to select all detail label. Okay, and in values we have to select white, not white, something gray we can select. Okay, here we are going to take semi bold. Okay, now let me put it here. Okay, here let me take a line. Okay, let me choose different color for this. We take this color. Okay, and also in border let me take the same color. Okay, let me increase some transparency. Okay, okay, now we can copy this and put it here. Okay, also we can copy this and put here also. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to take one card visual and show the total revenue. Okay, so let me take the card visual and let me put the total sales. Okay, let me format it. Okay, the callout value we are going to select here UI bold, and the value will be, I'm going to take it as 11, not 11, we are going to take it as 18. Okay, and the color we are going to take it as white, and background we have to turn off. Okay, we have to put it here in the middle. Okay, let me decrease. Okay, category label also we have to choose as 10, and it should be this color. Okay, let me put a little bit down. Okay, now it is looking perfect. Okay, so now let me go back to our requirement document. Okay, so the third one is sales analysis by store location. Okay, visualize sales data by different store location, include month over month difference metrics, highlight sales increase or decrease for each store location to identify trends. Okay, so for this we have to create one clustered bar chart. Okay, here also we are going to do some of the formatting. Okay, so let's see one by one how we are going to create this chart. So first of all, in the y-axis we are going to put as a store location. Okay, on to the x-axis we are going to put the total sales. Okay, now you can see it has been created. Now what we have to do, we have to create one more bar. It should display upside. Okay, so as you can see, these y-axis title, okay, it is showing here, but we have to show it here at the top of the bar. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to create one measure. Okay, let me create one measure into our, let me give it as a placeholder. Okay, and we are simply keeping as 0. Okay, now you will get to know why we are going to create this. Okay, now let me refresh it. Okay, now this placeholder we have to put above the total fields. Okay, okay, now let me go to formatting and do some of the formatting changes. Okay, so here in the legends, okay, we have to turn off. Okay, y-axis title we have to turn off. Okay, and x-axis we have to turn off the values as well as the title. Okay, now data labels we have to turn on. As you can see here, it is showing as 0k. Okay, okay, let me go to bars. Okay, so bars we have to select the total sales, and here we are going to choose some different color, that is B365. 41. Okay, this color we are going to choose. Okay, now we have to write one more measure. Okay, so as you can see it is showing as 0k, so here we want the label. Okay, so let me create one more measure. Okay, here we can name it as label underscore store location is equal to selected value of store location. Okay, and we have to separate it by using a pipe. Okay, so ensure you are giving the spaces in between. The first is the first space between this pipe and the second is space after this pipe. Okay, and we are going to use format total sales divided by 1000. We want the 1000 separator. Okay, and the format will be inverted commas. We have to write $0.00k. Okay, okay, let me close it. Okay, now let me refresh the Power BI report. Okay, we got our label for store location. Okay, now what we have to do, let me go to data labels. Okay, and here we have to select the placeholder. Okay, and here in the value we have to select the field label for store location. As you can see it is showing now correctly. Okay, okay, now we have to turn off the y-axis title. Okay, and value we can turn off in y-axis. Okay, we can turn off the background. Okay, now let me rename this title. Sales by store location. Okay, here we are going to choose as semi bold, and here it will be 10, and the color will be white, and it will be in the middle. Okay, now again we have to go to detail label. Okay, again we have to go to data label. Let me select here total sales now. Okay, and for total sales we need the value. Here we have to show month over month for sales. Okay, this one you can see here it is showing the correct. Okay, now here we can select all. you can choose the color as white. Okay, now you can see it is looking perfect. Now we can align it here. Okay, now you can see it is looking perfect. Okay, so as you can see, every chart is taking a lot of time to create it. Okay, as we are doing some of the adjustment into the charts. Okay, after then we are working majorly onto the formatting part, so that is why it is taking a lot of time. Okay, so please stay connected to this video. Okay, now let me quickly go back to our BRD and see what is the next chart. Okay, so we have to create a daily sales analysis with average line. Okay, display daily sales for the selected month with a line chart. Incorporate an average line on the chart. Highlight the bars exceeding or falling below the average sales. Okay, so here what we have to do, we have to create one bar chart. Okay, in which we have to display the daily sales. Okay, for to the selected month. Okay, after then we have to create one of the average line. Okay, so average line, how we are going to create, you have to stay connected to this video how we are going to create this average line. Okay, after then at the last what we have to do, we have to highlight the bars which are falling below this average line and which are falling above this average line, so there will be some different colors. Okay, so now let me quickly go back to our Power BI, and first of all let me select this placeholder, copy it and paste it. Okay, here we are going to change the height, so the height will be 185. Okay, now let me quickly take one bar chart. This one we are going to take. Okay, onto x-axis we are going to put the transaction date. Onto the y-axis we are going to put the total sales. Okay, now you can see it has been created. Now what we can do, we have to select this chart and go to format painter and put it here. Okay, now you can see it is looking somewhat better. Okay, now we have to do some of the formatting for this. Okay, so first of all let me go to title, and the title we want, let me write down sales trend over the period. Okay, now we have to go to x-axis. Okay, here we have to turn off the title, and in values we can take the different color or different font as Calibri, and it will be 8. The color will be white. Okay, now let me quickly go to y-axis. In y-axis also we have to turn off the title. In values we have to select the Calibri, and it will be 9. It will be white color. Okay, now in grid lines we have to turn off the horizontal as well as the vertical. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to create one of the line chart, one of the line for these trends. Okay, so for creating the average line, we have to go to our semantic model and create a new measure. Okay, so already we have created the measure. We can show you. Okay, daily average sales. This measure I have created. So we have used the average x function in which all selected, and we are going to take for to the transaction date and for total sales. Okay, so this will derive one of the line daily average sales. Okay, after then we are going to put it here. Okay, so how we are going to put it here? So first of all, let me go to reference lines. Okay, here we have to add one line, and here we can choose as a y-axis. Okay, and here we have to select the measure which we have written. Okay, this one. Now you can see the line has been created. Okay, now we have to do some of the formatting for this. Okay, the color we are going to take it as white. Okay, okay, line position we are going to select in front. Okay, and we have to turn on the data labels. Okay, and here we want to show both. Okay, so here you can see it is showing as y-axis constant line. So you have to change the name. So we can change the name from here. So we are going to change the name as average sales. Okay, now here we are going to change the color also. The color will be this color we are going to take, coffee color. Okay, now you can see it is looking somewhat fine. Okay, now we have to highlight the bars which are above this average sales line. Okay, so the bars which are above, we have to highlight them with different color, and which are below this line we have to highlight them with different color. Okay, so for this we have to create a measure. Okay, so I have already created a measure for this. This one is color for bars. So in this we have written if condition, if total sales is greater than daily average sales, okay, then it should be above average, or it should otherwise it will be below average. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to go here and let me go to columns, and here we have to go to fx. Here we have to choose the rules based on color for bars. Okay, so here you have to write down above average. So this whatever you have written in the measure, you have to write the same, because it is a case sensitive. Okay, so here you have to write down the same as written in our measure. Okay, so this will be different color. Let me give the color code B36541. Okay, new rule, it will be below average. This will be different color, 73361C. Okay, now you can see the bars which are above this line are highlighted in different color, and the bars which are in below this line are highlighted to different color. Okay, so now let me quickly place it over this placeholder. Okay, now let me go there and let me turn on the data labels also. And the data labels we don't want in horizontal, we want in vertical. Okay, and position will be inside end. Okay, and in values we can select a different font as Calibri. Okay, the color we are going to take it as white. Now you can see it is looking perfect. Okay, so this is how we have to create this kind of chart. Okay, okay, so now let's move to next. Okay, so let me go to BRD. Okay, so basically we have to find out the sales analysis by product category. Okay, analyze the sales performance across different product categories, provide insight into which product categories contribute the most to overall sales. Okay, so basically we have to create one more bar chart in which we have to show the sales, total sales by different product categories. Okay, so let me go back to our Power BI, and here what we can do, we have to first copy this placeholder. Okay, and we can put it here. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to take one. Okay, so we can copy this bar chart. Okay, let me copy this and let me put it here. Okay, so here we have to change it by product category. Okay, now you can see. Okay, so we have to do some of the formatting for this also. Okay, so here we don't want, we have to give here some different value. Okay, here also we don't want all of this. Okay, so for this we have to create one measure. Okay, so let me quickly go back to our semantic model and create a new measure. Okay, so for this we can copy the existing one. Okay, here we have the label for store location. Let me copy this one. Okay, and let me create a new measure by product category. Okay, so here we have to remove the store location and put the product category. Okay, okay, also we have to find, we have to show this thing. Okay, we don't want the whole, but we want only the existing up to here, up to pipe we want. Okay, so let me go back and copy the same measure. So it was MOM, this one. Let me copy this and create a new measure. Okay, let me name it as product category label. Okay, so here we have to remove up to, okay, so up to here we have to remove and we have to close it. Okay, only this we want and everything is fine. Okay, now let me quickly go back to our Power BI report and quickly format it. Okay, so first of all let me go to data labels. Okay, so for this we have already created in this, it is for to the placeholder and we have modified the different field for this. Okay, so we have to select the placeholder and in value we have to select not this one. Okay, let me refresh it. Label for product category. Okay, so now you can see it is showing now correctly. Okay, okay, and for to the total sales we have to choose different one. For total sales we want, let me choose the different one. Okay, this one. Okay, now you can see it is showing only this one. Okay, and position we want inside in, outside in. Okay, now it is fine. Okay, now let me quickly adjust the height and width. The height will be 381 and width will be 250. Okay, let me choose different. Okay, also we have to change the title. Sales by store location we have to change it by sales by product category. Okay, let me go to title, product category. Okay, now this one is done. Let me move this one to little bit up. Okay, so now let me quickly format it a little bit. We have to move this to up like this. Okay, and let me copy this one, and this one. Okay, now it is showing correct. Now let me move this one also. Okay, now here let me increase some of the size. Okay, let me increase this size also. Okay, now it is looking somewhat fine. So let me copy this line. Okay, okay, here you have to change the orientation. Rotation we are having here, we are going to take it as 90. Okay, 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 now it is looking somewhat fine. Okay, now let me go back to our next. Okay, so the next is top 10 product by sales. Okay, identify and display top 10 product based on the sales volume. Allow users to quickly visualize the best performing products. Okay, so for this, what we are going to do, we are going to take the same chart, just copy it and paste it. And for this chart, we want for product type. Let me choose the product type. Okay, so you can see we have created this chart. Okay, now you can see it is replicating the wrong one. So it is replicating the product category. Okay, we have to change it to product type. Okay, so for this we have to again go and create a new measure. Okay, so after then, so first of all let me go and to the filter section and choose the top 10. Here you will be getting the option of top 10. We are going to choose top 10 by field value, total sales, and apply. Okay, so as you can see in requirement, we have to show top 10 products. Okay, now we have to change this label. Okay, so for this we have already having the label, we have to copy. Okay, and okay, so where is that label? Okay, the same one we have to copy and create a new measure. Let me name it as label for product type is equal to, here we have to change the product type. Okay, now let me go and refresh here. And let me go to format. In data labels, you have to select the placeholder, and in values we have to change for product type. Okay, this one. Okay, as you can see, it is now changed to product type. Okay, now we have to change the title. Let me go and change the title, sales by product type. We have to name it as top 10. Top 10 products by sale. Okay, so this one was simple. Okay, so now let me move to next. Okay, so now let me move to next. So the next one is sales analysis by days and hours. Utilize a heat map to visualize sales pattern by days and hours. Implement tooltips to display detailed metrics, sales orders and quantity when hovering over a specific day hour. Okay, so let me go back. So it will be similar to this chart. Okay, whenever we are hovering, we have to create a tooltip and it will show the different related information. Okay, so for this we have taken a matrix visual. Okay, and in rows we have to put the hour. Okay, so what we don't have our column, so we have to create it. Okay, let me go back to our data flows and 2 so that we can create this our column. Okay, now here let me take one of the custom column. Okay, okay, here we have to use date time. Date time dot hour. Okay, still it is giving. Okay, so basically we have to use time dot hour. Okay, so it has extracted the hour column. Okay, now let me quickly refresh the schema. Okay, it is here. Okay, now let me publish it. So let's wait until it publishes. Okay, now you can see our data flow has been published successfully. Okay, now let me go back to our semantic model and refresh here. Okay, you can see it is now replicating here. Okay, let me refresh it one more time. Okay, so here we got our column. Okay, and now let me quickly go back to our Power BI report and refresh here. Okay, so now you can see our column has been created. Okay, now let me move to our. So here in rows we have to put the hour. Okay, not here, we have to put in rows. Okay, and in the columns we have to put the day name, and in the values we have to put the total sales. Okay, let me put the total sales in values. Okay, let me adjust it. Okay, now first let me select the height and width. Okay, the height will be 308 and width will be 370. Okay, now let me turn off the background. Okay, in style we have to select here none. In the grid we want the horizontal grid. Okay, and the color will be, let me give the color name 402B1E. Okay, and also the vertical grid we have to turn on, and we have to take the same color. Border also we have to take the same color. Now let me go to column headers. Here we have to select the white color. Okay, and the text will be 8. And we will align it to center. Okay, now let me go to specific column and display the total units in thousands. Okay, and for to the row subtotals we have to turn off. Okay, these are turned off. Okay, let me go to row headers. We have to select it 8 and the color will be white. Okay, and let me go to column subtotal. Okay, in the values we have to select white color and it will be 8. Okay, and the background color will be the same copy color. Okay, column grand total color let me take as white. Now again let me go to cell elements and okay, so here we have to turn on the background color. Okay, and okay, now we want gradient. Okay, for total sales, and for low we have to select a different color. Let me give the color code 6C260E, and the maximum color we are going to take as D9 8D 6B. Okay, now in the font color also we have to give the same color. Six C260E, and for to the maximum we are going to give the color D9 8D 6B. Okay, now you can see it is somewhat looking fine. Okay, Now let me go to row headers and alignment. Let me take it as the center. Okay. Okay. So column subtotals, let me turn off. Okay. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to create a tooltip. So whenever we are hovering over any of the specific day, so it will show the related information, just like when we are hovering over it, it is showing some of the related information. So like this, we have to create one more tooltip page. Okay, so let me copy this tooltip. Let me duplicate it. Okay, so here we are going to name it as tooltip for heat map. Okay, okay, so we have to create one more measure, okay, in which we are going to show the hour number, the hard coded value, it is written over just like hour number, and it should give the hour. Okay, so let me create one more measure. Okay, now let me go and new measure. Okay, now here we are going to create one new measure. Let me give it as tooltip for hour is equal to, in double quotation we have to write hour number and we have to give one space and format. Here we are going to take the average of hour and 0. Okay, now let me refresh here. Okay, so here we have to select this. Okay, so you can see it is showing as 12. Whenever we will hover over there, so it will show correctly. Okay, now we have to do some more adjustment. Okay, okay, now let me copy this one and here we are going to show the day name. Let me show. Okay, now it is looking fine. Now let me go to our page 1 and select this map. Okay, and go to tooltip. Let me turn on this tooltip. Okay, and the page will be heat map. Okay, Okay, now whenever we will hover over here, so it will show the related information. Okay, as you can see, it's showing for Monday and our number 8. Okay, so like this you can create this kind of beautiful dashboard. Okay, so majorly I have worked on to the formatting of these visuals. Okay, and we have done many of the adjustment into our charts. So this tutorial will be very much helpful for you. Okay, as the beginner level and also for to the advanced level, this tutorial will be very much helpful for you. Okay, so many of the DAX functions we have used. Okay, so I will provide this Pbix file as well as Mcode and the related information into our description. Okay, so you can take it from there. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Thank you.